Given that Peterson hasn't thrown a full, 80, 90 plus pitches in a couple of weeks, is he as stretched out as he would be if he hadn't spent that time in the bullpen?
Probably not. We have a number in mind, but feel good enough with the amount of pitches we could get from him. So he's going to go, and then we'll adjust.
What was the reasoning behind not using an opener at this time?
With how many lefties they got in there, you figure they were going to stack up a lot of righties. That was the whole reason behind it.
Tim.
How is Robert?
Didn't improve much after treatment yesterday, so he's getting an MRI right now to see what we're dealing with. But yeah, you gotta wait.
How much longer do you think you can put off a decision with the IL?
We gotta wait. We gotta wait and see what the MRI says, and what's the plan of attack, and if we need to put him on the IL or he's continue to be day to day. But that's why we're taking a look at it.
What have you thought about first base, the performance you've gotten there? I know obviously Polanco hasn't been able to be there much, but overall with Vientos and Baty.
I think they handled the position fine. Vientos defensively getting a lot of the opportunities there. Offensively, obviously, we expect more. But they're working really hard. They will continue to get opportunities. Signed Polanco to play there, but the health issues there. But happy with how Vientos and Brett and some of the guys had handled the position.
Tim.
Do you have other people on the roster right now that you're comfortable playing at first if you needed to?
Melendez could play there. Luis Torrens in emergency could play there. So some of the options that we got.
And then when you've had Taylor and Benj in the outfield, you've bounced around with who's in center a little bit. What leads you? What factors into that decision for you?
I mean, honestly, not much because I feel comfortable with any of them playing center field. Tyrone, we've seen it over the years. He's elite there. The way Carson's been playing everywhere, and not only that, he's comfortable moving around as well, like left field, some of the plays he's made, right field, in center. So I don't think it's much that goes into it. Just decided to go with that alignment today.
Mark.
Carlos, when teams have a spat of injuries, it's always the mantra is next man up. But how do you walk that fine line with some of the younger players like Mauricio and Mark and Brett to maybe issue a challenge to them that this is their time and this is when they're needed?
Well, they understand that this is their opportunity, but you don't want to put too much pressure on them. But also understanding that people will have to step up. Every team will deal with adversity, with injuries, and here we are. And that creates opportunity for a lot of different people. And, you mentioned like 3 or 4 of them. They will continue to get opportunities. They're really good players, and we need them to step up, obviously, without putting too much pressure on them as well, which is kind of like...
And then looking at the schedule, last night started a string of 31 games where 19 are against teams under 500 and finally a lot against divisional rivals. How important is this stretch for you guys to get back into it?
We got to play better baseball, period, regardless of, who we're facing, whether it's the division rivals or, we got to start winning series. That's what it's all about at the big league level. If you want to get to where you want to be at the end of the year, it's all about winning series and start playing baseball. We haven't been able to do that for a long period of time now. And hopefully, that game last night get us going here.
Ben.
Carlos, I guess with Robert, you guys were obviously slow getting him adjusted in spring. The fact that he's injured now and waiting the results of the MRI, just how concerning is it that he's going through something now and maybe it could be something more serious?
I mean, every time you send someone for an MRI, you're always concerned. But given the history of Louis the past couple of years with injuries and us trying to get to know the player, the personality, that's what we got right now, But again, we got to wait. We're doing everything on our power to kind of keep him on the field. And hopefully this is just a minor thing that we're dealing for a couple of days, and he's back out there soon.
Just with the way the offense has been, to score 7 runs in one inning last night, put up a crooked number, just does that take pressure off and kind of allow the guys to breathe easier, knowing that, you said the effort, the preparation is fine, to have that belief that it might turn around here?
I think so. We got a break yesterday. They didn't make a play, and the good thing we were able to cash in. That's a good sign that not not only we took advantage, but we created traffic. We continued to put guys on base, and we got the big hit when we needed to. So hopefully that's the start.
Carlos, miramos que después del partido de ayer hubo una sonrisa en tu persona donde no se veía con tanto tiempo. Esperemos que perdure. Pero ¿cómo tú valoras la organización de los Mets al continuar dándote la oportunidad en la difícil situación que está viviendo el equipo y tú viendo que ya han despedido a Domani? ¿Cómo tú valorarla?
Sí, mira, obviamente uno entiende la situación, ¿verdad? No es nada fácil. Jugar de la manera como hemos jugado y que bueno, que la oficina, pues la gerencia siga siendo, pues estando de tu lado, siempre respaldándote es importante, pero también entendiendo que esto es un negocio y viendo lo que está pasando alrededor en la industria, pues no es un secreto. Aquí, como lo he estado diciendo todos estos días, pues mi trabajo es venir aquí todos los días y sacar lo mejor, el provecho de todos los peloteros, lo que tenemos en el roster. Sabemos que tenemos un buen roster y mi trabajo es eso, pues mantenerlos positivos, empujándolos y buscando las maneras pues de sacarlo del hueco, ¿no? Pero como te digo, este es un mercado grande, un equipo de muchas expectativas y como te lo repito, mi energía, mi concentración, mi enfoque está en sacar lo mejor de los peloteros.
Roger.
Carlos, about the way that opposing pitchers are going after Soto and the number of pitches that he is or is not really getting that he can do something with. I know that there was a blueprint for what the lineup would look like and how it would work for him. Do you believe that as the guys who are injured become healthy and rejoin the lineup, that he will see more pitches to hit, more things that he can do?
We got to get those guys back in the lineup, but in the meantime, like I said, the guys that are around him will need to step up. Soto, regardless of who's in the lineup, a lot of teams are going to try to pitch around him. You know, like when you're facing teams with one or two hitters, you kind of pick, this guy's not going to beat us. But I feel like he continues to get, maybe not as many, but he continues to get pitches to hit, you know, and if they don't want to pitch to him, he's got to trust his teammates. He's going to be on base a lot. That's who he is. But yeah, like I said, I think 1 through 9, people need to step up.
Do you think that with as many injured starters as there are, that more teams are thinking like specifically like we're not going to let that guy beat us because they don't have their regulars?
I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, you know. But yeah, I mean, they could easily be saying that. But again, guys will step up.
Down on the left.
Carlos, you talked about Carson Bench and his defensive versatility, but do you just want to take advantage of that, or would you like to find him a spot to get comfortable in, just have him stay in right field as much as possible?
Yes and no. Ideally, you want to, if everyone's healthy, Soto's playing left, he's playing right, or Roberts is in center, but given the circumstances, and you got so much flexibility and versatility, like I'm comfortable moving those guys, and he's comfortable too. Like that's, it makes my job a little bit easier in that regard when I know I can play Tyrone there, I can play Benji, but I can also make some in-game move because of the versatility that I got there. So,
Jorge.
Carlos, you mentioned yesterday pregame, one of the adjustments you guys can make is, being on top of the fastball.
on time.
On time, yeah. Early in the season, the numbers are you guys against high velocity. They're pretty ugly. I'm wondering if this is like a real philosophical change you guys are making in terms of in these meetings telling these guys, hey, we need to be on time with the fastball and figure out the rest later.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it. We discuss it. They're working on it. You just got to go out there and execute. You got to go out and do it. Our preparation, the work ethic, the way our coaches are delivering the information, the way they're talking among each other, they are aware. But it's just trusting it and going out there and getting the job done.
The front.
Carlos, ¿entiende usted que la actual situación de los Mets solo es un mal momento?
Sí, seguro que sí. Todos los equipos en las grandes ligas, pues en algún momento de la temporada van a pasar por adversidades. Obviamente nos tocó a nosotros en el primer mes de la temporada. Pero a nosotros lo que nos queda es seguir mirando hacia adelante, buscando las soluciones para sacar el equipo. Nadie se va a sentir mal por nosotros. Estas son las grandes ligas y aquí hay que ganar juegos de pelota. Confío en los muchachos, confío en los coaches y tengo fe de que esto lo vamos a cambiar aquí prácticamente.
Andrew.
I know AJ's been here the last few days. Just what's the next step as he works back from the injury?
Game on Friday. He threw a bullpen here yesterday. Looked very good. Came in today, feeling pretty good. So again, continue with his progression. We're looking at Friday for his next game.
I guess you want to get him 2 out of 3. Is that the
He did that last week. I think the plan is to do it again this weekend, pitch him Friday and on Sunday again, and then we'll see where we are after that.
Just to follow up, could that potentially be his last step Friday, Sunday, and then maybe activation a couple days later?
We'll see. We'll see how he checks out after the 2 out of 3 again. We say we're going to take it slowly with him. If he needs more time, we will use the time. If we feel and he feels like he's ready, then we'll make that decision. But we're not going to rush it.